We are now going to look at competition and monopoly. Is competition a state, or is it a process? We have already said that entrepreneurship, by its very nature, is always competitive, and that the word competition derives from the Latin competito, which means the concurrence of multiple requests for the same thing, which must be assigned an owner. Competition, dear students, is a dynamic process of rivalry. It's a movie. There is movement. What do we mean to say with this analogy between competition and a movie? Well, the most intimate essence of competition lies in its being a dynamic process in which countless entrepreneurs participate by vying with each other to discover or detect, before anyone else, the latent profit opportunities in the entrepreneurial process, and they act accordingly to take advantage of them. It is a process of emulation. It is a process of trying to surpass our rivals in all areas by creating or perceiving profit opportunities before others do. That should be clear at this point in the course, because we have repeated it over and over again. It is important that we contrast our perspective with the so-called model of perfect competition, since that is the model presented as the ideal of competition in the vast majority of economics textbooks. According to that view, competition is a state. Competition is like a photo. Click. In mathematical models of perfect competition, competition is defined. It's actually quite a paradox. It is defined as perfect, and yet, if we take a photo of the social process, in the frame we will see the following: a static situation, as in any frame. There is no movement. Well, in that photograph, one can see there are many offerers, a multitude of sellers, and they are all selling the same product with exactly the same characteristics and at the same price. That static situation, that motionless state in which a multitude of offerers are all making the same thing and selling it at the same price, that situation is what most economists call competition. And to make matters worse, they describe it as perfect competition, which is an affront to common sense. So we see there are two alternative and opposing concepts of competition. Competition as a dynamic process of rivalry, which is the correct concept of competition, and also the mockery mistakenly referred to as perfect competition, which is typified by a situation in which everyone does the same thing, and therefore no one competes. You may ask, how is it possible that a legion of economists, economic scientists, distinguished professors, textbook authors and Nobel Prize winners have made the model of perfect competition, that is, the static view of competition, the pivotal concept around which their entire theory revolves? Again, here we observe one of the clearest instances in which the use of mathematics in our discipline plainly exerts a harmful effect. Competition as a state consists of a state of equilibrium, which alone lends itself to the use of mathematics. The insistence on applying the wrong methodology, that of the natural sciences, where constancy exists and time and creativity do not, to the sphere of the social sciences, where human beings play the leading role, manifests itself in a string of errors. But perhaps the greatest of them all has been the deification of an idea as absurd as the static concept of perfect competition.